Hey people, welcome to another FPL tips on TepTV. I remain your host Shegun Ajayi. Massive shout out to everyone who participated in our giveaway. Massive shout out also to those who watched our last content and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for the likes. I think that's the biggest likes we've had so far in the FPL content. Your comments are also well appreciated. Thank you, seniors. Quickly, we'll go to the FPL tips for this weekend. And this week looks like the most boring ever weekend. But we got to do it. Last week, double game week was not much of a blessing, but we'll take it like that. Yeah, that's what FPL is for. Still within the top 400k at the moment. Yeah, so still within the top 400k. And I hope that this weekend we get a boost. Let's quickly go to the tips for this weekend. So the first tip for this weekend is caution with Man City stars. Personally, I would say that we should get 3 Man City players, and I would advise to tread carefully actually. City are currently unstoppable at the moment and they win a lot of games. I think they're on 13 game winning streak or maybe 14. So, but the reality is that sooner rather than later that game streak will actually come to an end. And then if you also consider the fact that Southampton is a very winnable fixture, but the reverse fixture at Etihad ended with 0-0, where Southampton actually ran away with the 3 points, except that the referee didn't give them that late minute penalty that they're looking for. So you will also be advised to tread carefully. There are options like Cancelo, there are options like De Bruyne, who I would be a little bit concerned about simply because of his price tag. It's quite expensive. He's not exactly as explosive as Salah, so just tell yourself the truth. He's not as explosive as Salah, and he's not also as explosive as Bruno Fernandes last season, of course. So judging by that, I wouldn't really want to go for him because if he doesn't give me more than 3 points, he will be struggling. So we'll go to the second tip for this weekend. The second tip for this weekend is the Villa appeal. The Villa appeal. Yeah, Aston Villa has been doing so well since Gerrard became their manager, and in this January they are strengthening so well. They brought in Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona, who Gerrard played side by side with in Liverpool. They brought in Digne, who, if you're going to mention the top 5-6 left backs in the Premier League, he's one of them, even though he plays for a very trashy Everton. And you know, they have some good players at the moment. So you're looking at options from Aston Villa. Coutinho is a very good option. Ramsey as well is a very good option if you're looking for a very cheap player. And then if you're going for a defender, maybe you're looking at Digne, or you're looking at Cash. And then of course up front, I wouldn't go with any other person except Watkins. For example, we had Ings at the beginning of the season. He showed true ambition from Aston Villa, and I really feel that the ambition continued with getting in Gerrard, getting in Philippe Coutinho, even just a loan deal, and all of the players they got. So if I'm going to put it in order of priority, number 1 for me would actually be Watkins. Then number 2 for me would actually be, you say maybe you're getting a Digne or a Matty Cash, and then maybe you'll now be considering a Coutinho or a Ramsey. Now, from Coutinho's records, you understand that Coutinho could score screamers, free kicks, and stuff like that. And then the free kicks will always be shared between Digne and Coutinho, of course. But then you also want to be careful. Don't get carried away with the fact that he scored a goal last week and then you think Coutinho will score every single week. That's not possible. That's not how he plays, and that's not the position he plays. He's someone who looking more to give an assist to the assist that ends up with the goal. So he's more or less like the second assist to the goal. So sometimes you'll be hoping that Coutinho gives you the assist. It may not exactly be that explosive. Maybe at the end of the season, you see 8 goals, 12 assists, or 8 goals, 10 assists, or 8 goals, 6 assists. You take it like that because that's who Coutinho happens to be. And that was even for an explosive Liverpool. Well, not to say that Aston Villa will not score a lot of goals, but let's just be careful. So for me, I would still be sticking with Oli Watkins. Going to the top tip for this weekend. The top tip for this weekend is the midfield options. The midfield options. You know, the midfield is the most important position in FPL. We have played FPL for a very long time. Many of us like going for either 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. Why? Because these are the most important formations, or the best formations you can ever have in FPL. So if you look at the midfield options that we have at the moment, nothing much to pick from them, especially with the fact that Salah is away, Mane is away, although I won't give out for Mane anyways. But Salah is away, and Son is also injured, so Son became injured and stuff like that, and every other shit happened. So if you're going to be looking carefully at it, I would say that your options that you have people like Jota, who is still top on the list. You have people like Foden, who is still top on the list. You have people like Bowen, who is still top on the list. So those 3 guys are top on the list: Jota, Foden, Bowen. Foden, of course, I'm concerned, but Foden is still top of the list because you know where he's playing. He's playing out of position for Manchester City, who are very explosive at the moment. And then another person who I still feel is top on the list is Rafinha. I feel that Rafinha Leeds not necessarily regenerated, they've not gotten back their players, so Rafinha will still be on penalties. And then the fact that they are playing against Newcastle this weekend, a team to target, Newcastle. So other options that you could look at in terms of midfield, you could consider Coutinho and De Bruyne, who I've also mentioned. They are smart gambles. I'll call them smart gambles. They are players who can come in, do a job. They will not give you bad points every week. At least they would not necessarily give you terrible points like -1 or whatever the case may be. But you may have like 2 points, 3 points for like 2 game weeks in succession, and then get 17 points in a particular game week. So that there are players like that. And then the other option, if you're looking at funds, of course I mentioned, is Ramsey. But I will still say that you should avoid Arsenal for now. I'm talking about the Smith Rowe, the Saka, and the rest of it, simply because of the whole thing that are going on in the Arsenal camp at the moment. They should play Liverpool. They are playing Liverpool for the second leg of the Carabao Cup, and stuff like that and everything. So Arsenal has lost a lot of players to COVID and to the AFCON, so we cannot exactly say what we're going to get from Arsenal at the moment. And judging by the fact that some players are also injured. Also, please try as much as possible to avoid Mason Mount, because very soon we'll be going for the Club World Championship. And then basically these are the players you should avoid. Fernandes is explosive and he is currently showing the glimpses of what he did last season. But just try and tread carefully so that you will not be burnt. The next tip for this weekend is, should I play my wild card? This one is a very simple and straight answer. Honestly, no. Except if your team is very, 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 very bad, you should not be playing your wild card. Stick with the players you have. Wait until when the AFCON is over. Get in back Salah and the guys you would love to get in and get the business done. So I would say, don't play your wild card. This weekend doesn't look so good compared like the way I said last weekend too as well. Don't play your wild card. So there's no much benefit to gain from it. We'll go to the last tip fifth tip for the weekend, which is who to captain. I think this is even more important than the wild card. Judging by the fact that this particular weekend there are a lot of not so appealing fixtures that we have this weekend, and then we are thinking of who to captain. There are a lot of captain options again, simply because our usual captain Mohamed Salah is on AFCON and Egypt already qualified, so it means that he'll still be in AFCON for a little more time. So judging by the fact that Salah is not available, we are looking at who are those who are captain options. For City, like I mentioned, City can be very explosive, and if City is explosive, De Bruyne is a reasonable option. If City is passive, then Cancelo also looks like a reasonable option. So just try to be careful. At the moment, I have Cancelo. So like I said, City can be very explosive, and if City is explosive, De Bruyne looks like a reasonable option. City could also be passive, and Cancelo looks like a good option as well. So you just need to be careful of who you pick. For me at the moment, judging by the fact that I'm taking a gamble, I have Cancelo in my team, and then I kept a Foden in my team, so that in case if City becomes explosive, Foden can also be part of it, and then Cancelo should likely get a clean sheet from Southampton. So I'm thinking that game could either end City massive win or maybe a nil draw, just like what they played in the first leg. Then also Bowen is in form, but he's playing against Manchester United, so you need to be careful about that. And then you're looking at Rafinha and Dennis, who have good home fixtures. Rafinha plays Newcastle, Dennis plays Norwich. And I don't really rate Jota away to Crystal Palace. You may look at it like, what's going on? Fine. But the truth is, they're playing against Crystal Palace. It's away from home, with Salah, Mane, and every other thing that is not available. Yeah, Liverpool should get the job done. Should maybe win 2-0, 3-0, as the case may be. But it's not like as if you're expecting Jota to score an hat-trick. So I don't really rate Jota away from him. And then also for Trent, I'm not sure if they can keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. And because of that, I may still not rate Trent also away from him. So those two players, will be expecting maybe like 7 points from them. Captaining Harry Kane is madness against Chelsea. That's the way I see it. Captaining Harry Kane is madness against Chelsea. He could score against Chelsea, which is true. So captaining Harry Kane seems like madness to me against Chelsea. Why? Because of course it's possible Harry Kane scores, but it's also possible Harry Kane does not score anything. So you go with 2 points from Harry Kane, an expensive player with about 12.3 at the moment. That's not so good for you. So for me, in conclusion, I would say that if I'm going to be looking at who to captain, first things first, all of the players mentioned, try and get like 80% of them in your team, because they should give you good points, 5, 6, 7 points here and there. But if I'm going to be looking at captain options, I'm looking at 3 players. I'm looking at Rafinha, I'm looking at Dennis, and I'm looking at Maddison. Rafinha plays against Newcastle, Dennis plays against Norwich, and Maddison plays against Brighton. So I'm going to start with who I would consider less. I would consider Maddison less, simply because Maddison could score against Brighton, but it's not going to be something like very explosive, maybe 2, 3, 4 goals there. Simply because Brighton are very stingy at the back. Then if you look at Dennis against Norwich, Dennis is a striker, so he'll give you 4 points per goal score, compared to Rafinha, who give you 5 points for a midfielder for a goal score against Newcastle. Both of them are playing at home. Sorry, 3 of them are playing at home. So if I was going to go for an option, I would go for Rafinha. Except if Dennis can guarantee me he's going to score an hat-trick, I would simply be sticking with Rafinha. But like I mentioned, get at least 80% of these players on teams because they are likely to deliver. Now we go to the final tip for the weekend, the predicted team of the weekend. Like I mentioned, or like mentioned in previous weeks, the predicted team for the weekend is a team that will predict that if you accumulate their scores together, will give you 70 points that week. And of course, if you are getting 70 points every week in FPL, you're definitely going to win FPL. So predicted team for the weekend, in goal we have Foster. That's Foster from Watford. Yeah, we have Foster. It looks very funny. Yeah, the Watford goalkeeper is in goal. I'm thinking he should get a clean sheet against Norwich and possibly some save points. In defense, Trent's obvious option is going away to Crystal Palace. He should either get a clean sheet or get an assist. So I'm looking at 7 points there about, or more than that from Trent. Kouadi also is an option. I told you Wolves are very tight at the back, even tighter than Man City at the moment. And then another option in defense is Cancelo. Cancelo also, like I said, if Man City are passive, Cancelo should get good points. Just like the way he got 11 points last weekend and I had him on my bench. Very sad. So we go quickly to the midfield. In midfield, the obvious guys, Rafinha, who I feel should be the captain. Bowen also is in the team, like I mentioned, is in form, even though he's playing Manchester United, could still get one goal against Manchester United. Another person in midfield is Foden, a big gamble I must say. Another person in midfield again is Maddison, like I mentioned, I feel he is the go-to person in that Leicester team at the moment, and Maddison could get us a goal. Like I said, the final person in that midfield is Jota. I'm not writing him off getting a goal against Crystal Palace. I just feel he will not be as explosive as many of us think he's going to be. And up top, I have 2 players, Dennis and Oli Watkins. So thank you guys for sticking with us throughout this video. Please, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the content, give it a like. A lot of you guys gave it likes last weekend, and that's what is making us have the courage to keep up with this content even on TepTV. Let's not forget that we also have other videos around from TepTV. You can also be part and parcel of them. Watch them, like them, give them likes, and you can place your comments also in the comment section below. We will see you next week as we continue the FPL tips on TepTV. I remain your host once again, Shegun. Bye for now and see you.